Talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Brantley's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here in the building. We do have some breaking news as we come on the air, as we come on tour together here. We'll get to that here in just a few moments, but then after that, we have some news about TikTok. They are still hiring people, even though a ban is imminent. And a new version of TikTok. We'll talk about that. A lot went down at Essence Fest. We'll get to all of that news. There was a horrible flood in Texas, and also got into my state of Arkansas as well. So, we will definitely talk about that for sure. Then, of course, there is a lie about Black culture from JD Vance that we will get to. Porsha. Apparently, Porsha Williams has a new boyfriend, allegedly, but could he be in some trouble? We'll talk about that. Flint, Michigan, some good news, some long overdue good news for Flint, Michigan, and some news on YouTube. If you are a YouTuber, you definitely want to be paying attention to this tour, this thing. And plus, now that, of course, I have a positive news story for you as well. With that being said, higher is weighing, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background. Yes, you do hear that virtual tour music. And one thing to know, and two things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early rolling.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Right now, this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you're starting it off right. But whenever you start the daylight, and a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I say,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is Julie Chen Moonves. It is a new morning to Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You are absolutely right on this channel. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully all is well for each and every single one of you. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do, because we do have some breaking news coming in as we are getting on the air here. This is from Eyewitness News, ABC 7. Here we go with that.
A virtual hearing is set for tomorrow as Sean Diddy Combs awaits sentencing following a mixed verdict in his federal trial. The judge had originally set a sentencing date for October, but the defense team did ask for that to happen as soon as possible. Combs was denied bail after he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combined, it carries up to 20 years in prison. Combs was acquitted on the most serious charges of racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. He's currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
So, as you guys heard just then, the sentencing for Diddy will be happening on Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, I know. So I know we just got done with the trial. But yeah, that's happening. So that'll be happening on Tuesday. This Tuesday. Okay. So be ready for that. So whenever the news breaks, we'll be here to bring it to you. With that being said, let's get to the getting and do what we do, because it's time to talk about some TikTok. Child from TubeFilter.com. TikTok shop staff just faced its 3rd round of layoffs in 3 months. What's the deal? Well, let's talk about it. There's a popular sentiment in the floundering video game industry right now. It doesn't matter if you make a bad game or a good game. It doesn't matter if your game makes money or doesn't make money. Either way, you're getting fired, not because you underperform by any normal person standards, but because the corporate developer you worked for wants to rehire lower paid staff for the next title and cut costs in the interim. That sounds awful like what's happening at TikTok Shop right now. The e-commerce hub is the fastest growing part of TikTok's business. With it, ByteDance has finally managed to replicate a portion of the social shopping success it had with Douyin, TikTok's Chinese sister app. And though some sellers are anecdotally report that they've seen a drop in sales, and over the past couple of weeks, TikTok Shop is still churning out billions of dollars. In sales. Orca, an e-commerce startup focusing on helping digital content creators sell through TikTok Shop, has by itself sold over $100 million in the last 12 months. Despite continued sales, TikTok is implementing yet another round of layoffs, cutting U.S.-based shop staff for the 3rd time in 3 months. As TikTok Shop business evolves, we regularly review our operations to ensure long-term success. As TikTok spokesperson told Bloomberg, we've made a difficult decision to adjust parts of our team to better align with strategic priorities. TikTok wouldn't say how many staffers were laid off or at what level. Bloomberg reports that the layoffs are due to Shop falling short of internal sales targets. It says the company has been simultaneously replacing U.S. hire staff near Seattle with managers in China. TikTok hardly ever discusses things in hard numbers, so we'll probably never know what TikTok shop is actually sell versus what company executives expect it to sell. What we do know is that all this is happening while TikTok is still on the ban chopping block. The 47 administration recently extended its stay of ban again and says a stateside buyer has been approved, but it's waiting on the Chinese government to give the okay. That uncertainty might be a contributing factor here, but from the outside, looks like ByteDance is mostly trying to save a buck. So it's interesting because I have been seeing jobs, like no joke, for TikTok. Let me see. Tik. And they are still hiring people. That's the thing, right? They are still hiring people, which is mind-boggling to me. I've never seen a company that is this much on a teeter-totter frequency still hiring people, right? Because if you get hired at TikTok, if it gets banned, then you're going to lose your job, right? And I hate to say that because nobody should lose their job, but is the nature of the beast, to use a word. Yes, indeed. So let me pull it up here just to show y'all how many jobs they have here. So I'm going to do this here, location. Looking for let's see, United States. That's not showing up that. Okay, so let's do Los Angeles, right? Right there. So as you can see here, they still have all these jobs right here in Los Angeles, right? They have 167 open roles in Los Angeles, okay? Now, if I add some more, says here we got Austin, Texas. We got Mountain View, California, I think, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. San Francisco. So as you can see here, 232 open roles there. So they are still hiring people, and it's on the verge of being banned. But that's not all the news about TikTok. Shout out to Patty Jackson, our auntie of pop culture, for this. Now, the Information First report on it. Now, if you don't know what the information is, it is a website that talks about the creator economy in addition to many other things. But here it is from Reuters. TikTok building new version of app ahead of expected U.S. sell, the Information reports. So this came out today, 6:40 a.m. TikTok is building a new version of its app for users in the United States ahead of a planned sale of the app to a group of investors, the Information report on Sunday, citing unnamed sources. This comes as U.S. President 47 said on Friday he would start talking to China on Monday or Tuesday about a possible TikTok deal. He said the United States pretty much has a deal on the sale of the TikTok short video app. TikTok has developed a plan to launch the new app to U.S. app stores on September 5th, the report said. Last month, 47 extended to September 17th a deadline for China-based ByteDance to divest the U.S. assets of TikTok. Now, for those of you who don't know, the CEO is from Singapore, but they are so adamant that China has something to do with it, even though the CEO is from Singapore. In addition to that, there was a potential ban on Juneteenth. Yeah, I know. We cover that here on Brantley's Virtual Tour Live, by the way. The report added that TikTok users will eventually have to download the new app to be able to continue using the service, although the existing app will work until March of next year, though the timeline can change. TikTok did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. Reuters could not immediately confirm the report. A deal had been in the works earlier this year to spin off TikTok's U.S. operations into a new U.S.-based firm, majority owned and operated by U.S. investors, that was put on hold after China indicated it would not approve it following 47's announcements of steep tariffs on Chinese goods. 47 said the United States will probably have to get a deal approved by China. So there is that there, everybody. What do I think about this destination? I mean, honestly, we got bigger issues at hand than a damn app, honestly, to me. There are women and children and men being DV'd and essayed. There are veterans who are not getting the resources that they need after they come home from war. There are food banks being cut of resources. There is Section 8 housing and food stamps that are changing, right? So we got bigger issues at hand here than a damn app, personally, to me. So that's what I have to say on that. All right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it right here. From NOLA.com, Will Sutton has Essence Fest lost its swag. Fans deserve better. This is by Will Sutton from NOLA.com. The Essence Festival of Culture was birthed by New Orleans. In New Orleans and through New Orleans, it reached the nation and the world. I grew up on the lower Ninth Ward and gently with Ebony and Jet on my family living room tables, along with the Louisiana Weekly and the Times Biscayne. They were an important part of keeping up with our Black people, businesses, communities, entertainment, and all things Black, but something was missing. In 1970, Essence Magazine was launched. I was a teen then. A Black mother birthed me. I had 2 Black sisters, a Black girl, and women cousins, Black grandmothers, and Black girlfriends. They were captured in some of the pages of the other periodicals, but Essence highlighted my collective sisters with beauty, fashion, and news for Black Prism. We didn't realize what we had been missing. And then there is Essence Fest right there. That was this past Saturday, July 5th. So it looked like a jam-packed crowd for sure. The magazine celebrated 25 years of success in 1995, and a one-time celebration in New Orleans was planned with then Mayor Mark Morrow. As we say back in the day, it was so nice they had to do it twice, and then again, and again. It's still going. There have been challenges through the years, and this year felt different. There weren't as many signs promoting the festival. The big Essence letters was missing outside the convention center. There were long waits in between entertainment acts at night. One act didn't finish until 3:37 a.m. Saturday. You heard me correctly. 3:37 a.m. 3:37 a.m. So basically, as the local morning shows were getting ready to go on the air at 4 a.m. for some, 4:30 for others, they were still out partying. Yeah. Ooh, there were hurt feelings with fans who were expecting a traditional Super Lounge experience, only to find that things had changed. Essence apologized because apparently the Super Lounge experience was a part of your ticket, but now you have to pay for it. And also, too, as you guys know, Caesars Superdome is getting renovated. We talked about that during our Super Bowl coverage here on Brantley's Virtual Live. Essence fans and supporters have had concerns, and they've let Essence and others know. U.S. Representative Tory Carter from his Washington, D.C. home from his Washington, D.C. news attended the festival and got an earful. I have been there since day one, he told me. I was a young city council member when Mark Morrow brought this to our city. He said things have changed and he doesn't like what he's heard this year. Essence is important to New Orleans and Louisiana. He said the festival cannot disconnect from its New Orleans specific cultural roots. That means engaging local businesses, staying connected with our local culture. He added, recognize that this year things were out of whack. There were a few hiccups, the congressman said. It's important to learn from these lessons, these mistakes, and move beyond 2025. One high-profile nonprofit executive told me that it's too difficult to do business with Essence now. That's why there are a number of Essence-inspired, Essence-related, or Essence-adjacent events not connected to the festival. Oh, wow. I'm confident that the leaders of Essence are going to hear what their fans and customers are saying about the experience. I certainly urge them to hear and take heed to forever be on the side of making Essence better, added Moral. The president and CEO of the National Urban League for more than 20 years, the historic team had built relationships with the leadership and the community from the beginning. I think the new leadership of Essence have to think about how they build and rebuild some of those relationships. I believe Essence venture owner Richard E. Dennis is committed to that. During a Morale Convention Center Festival conversation Saturday afternoon, Dennis told me he's committed to making Essence better. He told me that his company is in the third year of a 5-year plan. They're making decisions based on data and business plan. There's been negative festival chatter in hotel hallways and rooms among family and friends, texting quite a number of negative social media posts, but then said that's not the whole story. He acknowledged some problems attributed to growing pains were grown this festival on its right size. He said with that growth comes a lot of changes, challenges. He said real-time data or data collected during this year's festival shows festival goers are more engaged and more satisfied. People are saying the daytime festival events longer. There were complaints about not being able to get into some scheduled events, including film festival showings. He charges that to quality programming, people can't show up and expect to get in the door. It's a thing of effectiveness, efficiency, and delivering on a promise, he said. Through the years, things have changed. The jet is gone. Ebony is a shadow of what once was. Essence is still here. Now, hang on a second. Now, even though Ebony and Jet may not be what it was, they are still around. Let me show you. Because, child, there's been one job that they've been trying to find for a while now. And I don't think they filled it yet. But believe me, I believe that Ebony JetCon would definitely make some waves for sure. As you can see here, you guys, here it is. Ebony.com is still around. As it pulls up here now, I will say they did try to hire a social media director for Jet. Didn't work out. Haven't heard anything about that yet. But here it is here. Entertainment style, culture, politics, life, videos in Ebony TV, which is a free advertising streaming television channel there. Right here from the search. Okay, so apparently they do have a creative director, allegedly, but you see here they have right now director, sales and brand partnerships, jobs available. So they're still around. So not too much on Ebony Jet, because you mentioned Ebony and Jet in the beginning of your article, son. But hey, that's neither here nor there. This is an opinion piece, okay? So you made an opinion piece. I'm giving my opinion on your piece. New Orleans has Carnival, second line of other traditions that will live on forever, but the city isn't what it was when I was growing up. There were parades, cruises, and festivals that didn't exist. The festival isn't what it used to be, nor should it be. But it is an important part of New Orleans that we want to see thrive. While some say the festival has lost its luster, Dennis says the festival will never lose its foundational purpose, but it must evolve. The question for New Orleans and Dennis is, can we get through these challenges and evolve together? The answer is easy. Like real love and committed relationships, we must. Very well done, Wilson. I love the article. A little much on Jet, and Jet is gone. Ebony is a shadow of what it once was, but the shadow is still here, right? But that's not all, because as you remember, Target, they've been going through it, but Target was still a sponsor of Essence Fest. Essence Festival faces heat for Target sponsorship amid the backlash. So, with that being said, let me click that there. I like that. That has a link for later, because I always love supporting black businesses. that to you guys. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Here, Essence Festival faces heat for Target sponsorship amid DEI backlash. Critics are calling out Essence for partnering with Target after its diversity roadmap, but organizer cites contracts and financial survival rather. Ooh, we'll get to that too. Essence Fest is not festing this year. Well, we'll talk about that. Essence Festival 2025 faces controversy over Target sponsorship. The Essence Festival of Culture. I'm trying to get that. Why is it not? Okay, I guess we'll have to click on it later. Anyway, the Essence Festival of Culture is known for celebrating Black excellence, music, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. In 2025, the beloved New Orleans event found itself at the center of a cultural firestorm over one major issue: its ongoing sponsorship of Target. Target, once hailed for its diversity and inclusion initiatives, has recently scaled back its key DEI efforts at rollback sparked a boycott and a wave of criticism, especially after the brand showed up prominently at this year's Essence Festival. Now fans and critics alike are asking, can cultural celebrations still stand tall while backed by a brand walking back its commitment to racial equity? Target's DEI rollback sparks boycott and public outrage. In January 2025, Target quietly announced that it will end several DEI programs, including those advancing Black employees, anti-racism training, and efforts to boost Black-owned brands. This move came under pressure from anti-DEI policies pushed under 47th second term. That decision, coupled with the company pulling out the human rights campaigns, equality triggered widespread backlash. Pastor Jamal Bryant and others called for a boycott, accusing Target of threatening its post-George Floyd promises. Now, of course, that is through AI, so that's not in New Orleans, okay? So just wanted to say that. Okay, hang on, y'all. Give me a moment, y'all. There we go. Just not trying to click that. Give me a moment. There we go. Okay, now where were we? There we go. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Good Lord Jesus. Okay. We were right here. Essence Fest and Essence. Hey, we didn't get the Super Lounge right this time. Let's talk Super Lounge. This year we reintroduced our Super Lounge experience. Was it confusing? Yes. Did we get it right? The frustration fair. So let's discuss the issue. Due to the ongoing renovations at the Caesar Superdome, many of the original Super Lounge spaces were no longer available. Rather than scaling back, we reintroduced the Super Lounge as a premium lounge experience. This is all part of an intentional evolution of the experience. Unfortunately, we missed the mark. We hear you, and next year we are committed to clearer, earlier communication so every month feels as intentional as the culture we're celebrating. All ticket holders can still catch specially curated Super Lounge moments on the main stage inside Superdome, while limited VIP tickets have sold out. We thank you for your patience and grace. Hashtag Essence Fest. Hashtag we love us. So when Target popped up at the Essence Festival and built for Black empowerment, critics didn't hold back. Many on Twitter questioned how a festival made for us to still be taking Target's money. Essence Festival response, we're under contract. Faced with mounting criticism, Essence Festival organizers took to Instagram to address the backlash. In response to one fan's comment, Festival posted, "We are on a multi-year sponsorship with Target, so we fully understand how it looks. We just want to speak to the contractual agreement." That brief but honest reply set off a new wave of debate. Some fans appreciated the transparency, others weren't satisfied, saying the festival should take a stand, even if it means a financial loss. One viral post summed up the tension. Essence is under contract with a company that rolled back support for Black and LGBTQIA plus folks. That's not just bad optics, it's betrayal. So here it is. Here, Nikki Porsha, founder of Buy From a Black Woman Economic Strategist Advocate. And right here, Tamika Mallory, founder of Until Freedom Social Justice Leader Movement Strategist, Tamika Mallory. So they had an Instagram live conversation on Saturday, July 5th at 11 a.m. Critics say Target sponsorship undermines the festival's message. Nikki Porsha, founder of Buy From a Black Woman, called partnership tone deaf. She accused Target of using the Essence Festival marketing optics while backpedaling on its actual support for Black communities. Porsha and others argue that keeping Target on board sends the wrong message, especially when Black consumers are demanding more accountability from corporate America, with Black spending power projected to hit $2.1 trillion by 2026. Damn! We're that rich? I'm sorry. Anybody can be rich. It takes somebody to be wealthy. We're that wealthy as a culture. Wow. That demand carries weight. You can't say you're about Black empowerment while collecting checks from a company that's doing the opposite that what we're using. That's not empowerment. That's selling out. Essence defends its position of reality over idealism. Legal contracts, organizers explain that the deal with Target is a multi-year agreement. Canceling it could result in legal and financial penalties. Economic impact: the Essence Festival generates nearly $1 billion for New Orleans annually. Corporate sponsors are key to sustain that level of impact. Still focused on the mission despite criticism. Essence insists that its values remain intact, uplifted by communities for business, wellness, and cultural celebration. It's easy to say walk away, one fan commented, but if Target walks, 20 other sponsors already pulled out because of 47's anti-DI policies. How does Essence survive? Very fair point. Decline in attendance and vendor participation in 2025. While Essence remains a major cultural event, organizers admit 2025 did hit the same highs as 2024's record-breaking 30th anniversary. Ticket sales dipped, vendor numbers shrunk, and social media chatter leaned more critical than celebratory. Festival organizers cite broader economic uncertainty, post-pandemic event fatigue, but the controversy around Target undoubtedly played a role casting a shadow over the festival's message of Black joy and unity. Still, the event moved forward with music panels and community-centered program while quietly navigating the fallout. The bigger picture: DEI rollbacks and corporate accountability. Essence situation mirrors a larger national trend. Under pressure from political forces, companies like Walmart, PepsiCo, and Citigroup have also scaled back DEI commitments. In that context, the Target drama isn't unique, but it's harder when it's tied to such a powerful cultural event. Controversy raises questions: can cultural institutions afford to serve their ties with brands and shift on equity? What does accountability look like when money and mission collide? Most importantly, how do we protect the integrity of Black space in a corporate world built on contracts and compromise? There is Lauryn Hill there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Family is family, and around here we protect our own, no matter what the people say. Let's be very clear. We don't play about Lauryn Hill, not for clicks, not for headlines. She arrived on schedule, stepped on that stage, and delivered the performance. Only the kind of performance only that you can. The delay, not hers. We'll take that. The moment one for the books, the legacy still match. Put some respect on her name. Keep the text, but keep her out of them. All love and deep, profound respect, and deep, profound admiration for Miss Lauryn Hill. Of course, the wifey, Miss Jill Scott Lee. Woo! Jesus, how I would like to burn in her galaxy. Good Lord Jesus, man. Conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. And Philly John gave us the whole play right there in song, truly a timeless tune. That is Miss Jill Scott Lee. Jill Lee, Miss Lee, if you're nasty. Just, whoo, Jesus. Hallelujah. Praise be unto God. Listen. Then, of course, the Isley Brothers in the building. Decades of soul and a lifetime of hits. Ron and the Isley Brothers hit the Superdome stage. What comes next for Essence and its sponsors? Essence organizers are walking a tightrope. They've been clear. They hear the criticism, but financial, legal realities can't be ignored. The challenge now is rebuilding trust, maintaining transparency, and ensuring future partnerships align with the festival's mission. For now, Essence is saying the course, but it's clear the conversation is far from over as the public continues to demand accountability. Festivals, brands, institutions alike will have to decide what matters more, money or the message. And you know, it's a dicey situation here, right? Because Essence is right. When you get into a multi-year deal, there are clauses in that contract where if they break it, they can be sued and held liable. And with Essence, right, and many of these media companies going through mergers and acquisitions, and some of them having declared bankruptcy, Essence is trying to keep the company. Right. So on that hand, from the media side, I see it. Right. But in the same token, your legal responsibility should never outweigh your cultural responsibility to your brand, to your audience, and to your consumers that invest in Essence to me. So that's just that there, child. Listen. Right here, Essence Fest is not festing this year. 2025 sees smaller crowds and mixed vibe to New Orleans in a video. Fans debate changes to Essence Festival as organizers cite economy shifting demographics and post-pandemic feuds. The Essence Festival Culture 2025 is in effect in New Orleans until Sunday, July 6th, but with noticeably smaller crowds. Organizers say the lower turnout was expected after 2024's 30th anniversary milestone. Several outside factors may have kept fans away this year. Economic pressures like inflation, rising travel costs impacted how many people could attend. 4th of July weekend also play a role, with many choosing to stay closer to home due to costs or competing events. Despite this, the festival still drew thousands to the Ernest in Memorial Convention Center and Caesar Superdome. Rising costs and travel hesitations hit festival attendance. Many potential attendees skipped this year due to financial strain. Concert tickets start at $82 when you add travel, food, and lodging. The price gets steep. Inflation has made vacation spending harder for many in 2025. Holiday weekends once meant big travel numbers. Still, but trends have shifted. Fewer people travel for large events this July 4th. Some attendees know that the festival vibe wasn't the same as past years, with a more laid-back feel overall. Mixed reactions on Twitter. Festival vibes feel different. Social media lit up with reactions to Essence Festival 2025. Some fans on Twitter said the crowds were small, the energy was lower. Others point out missing vendors and fewer community-focused activities that made past festivals special. This year's Essence Fest doesn't hit the same. Too many empty spaces and not enough soul. Oh wow! There were also comments about how the artist lineup shifted, while stars like Maxwell, Nas, and Boy Smith performed younger acts like Gorilla and Megan Thee Stallion took the center stage, changing the vibe for longtime fans. So the Superdome, for those of you who don't know, the Superdome is known for Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, those, legend acts. And then, the Super Lounges are known for more of the up-and-coming stars and, legends of today, right? So, interesting. Essence Fest still delivers big cultural moments despite the dip in numbers. Essence Festival 2025 still have major highlights. Master P gave his final performance, drawing big applause from the hometown crowd. Free daytime events stay popular, including workshops, panels, and the Beat Carnival. Organizers stressed the festival's $200 million plus economic impact for New Orleans. They described the weekend as a party with a purpose. Really? Really, it was a party with a purpose? That sounds like somebody I know. Shout out to Color Me Entertain for that. It sounds like y'all borrowed the line from Tom Joyner and that fantastic voyage, The Party with a Purpose. And his platform was all about Party with a Purpose as well, everybody. That still uplifted Black culture and support local businesses. Soul Food 66, Black and Native 1, Black Americans. What happened to the Essence Festival 2025?
One thing I can say, since I've been back home looking at Essence Fest, it's so empty. Like, it's early morning, but it's real empty. I've seen what it had a ton of people outside at 9 o'clock in the morning. Even the vendors, like the food vendors on Portraits, there are barely none. It might change when they get a little later throughout the day, but it's looking rough. It just don't look like it's Essence no more. I don't know if that's a word, but Essence not festing no more. Like, I don't know what's going on. Usually I'm hella booked up, for one, for Essence. Two, so many people who normally go, they're like, I don't think I'm going this year. And I've heard why, which is kind of messed up. Like, how y'all gonna make people pay for other parts of the Essence Fest that was free? Like, once you pay that general admission, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being greedy. And now y'all being greedy, and look what happened. It's kind of dead out here. They didn't even have no traffic. That's the crazy part. Yesterday, they didn't have no traffic on the interstate. Wow. It's like, oh, okay.
First of all, I can listen to this fine sister all day. Okay, she is giving me Bondi Blue energy, and I'm here for it. Is she single though? That's the real question. She could be a Miss Lee if she wants to. Some vendors say festival fell short behind the scenes. Several vendors took to Twitter to express frustration about poor logistics and last-minute changes. Some said they were left out of key festival spaces, limiting their sales and exposure. Others said the pipeline initiative did not meet expectations. You all remember when the mayor of New Orleans and the head of entertainment for Essence Fest, Master P, talking about there was going to be a pipeline initiative, and apparently that didn't happen. We showed up ready, but our booth got moved twice and foot traffic was weak. Essence needs to do better. Whew, my Lord Jesus. While official numbers weren't share, hotel occupancy was down 91% in 2024 to 83% in 2025. Local business owners still appreciate the boost during a slower season. What makes the Essence Festival of Culture stand out? The Essence Festival is more than just music. It's a celebration of Black culture, beauty, business, and empowerment. Since 1995, it has grown to one of the largest cultural events in the country each year. It draws celebrities, entrepreneurs, and fans around the world with major panels, wellness expos, fashion showcases, and powerful performances. Essence Fest remains a pillar in Black culture despite yearly changes. Essence Festival in the news and online buzz. The hashtag Essence Fest continued to trend throughout the weekend, filled with fan videos, celebrity science, behind the scenes looks, media coverage highlight both the star power and concerns from fans and vendors. Essence.com and the E360 app offer updates and schedules for attendees, whether they loved or disliked this year's changes. Thousands engaged with the festival in person and online. Why Essence Fest still matters. Even with fewer people, Essence Festival 2025 proved its staying power. It's a space where Black culture is honored, where legends meet rising stars. It's where community is always at the center. Organizers adjust for future years. Fans are hoping for a return to the soulful, community-driven vibe that made Essence Fest legendary. Still 2025 delivered major moments that reminded everyone why this festival matters so much there. So, yes, indeed there. Some videos here. So that's Frankie Beverly. Okay, I can't play the whole thing, but you see activity happen now. Yes, indeed, there. And then, let's see, here's this video here. Yes, to the hair, okay? Well, hold on a second now. See, God knew what he was doing when he made black women. Okay, roll it up. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, we do have some more here from Fox 8 in New Orleans. Several vendors opt out of Essence Fest. Essence Festival organizers announced that not only ticket sales slowed down this year, but some vendors opting out. Barku Chumanzalo, Chief Community Officer for Essence, said, I think there's a lot happening in our world in general that's impacted people decide to go to places or not. Essence maintains and supports 300 local businesses, and the fest generates a multi-billion-dollar economic impact. We just want to make sure that in spite all that we're navigating, people come and have an amazing time too. Zalo said, I think it's just interesting times for all of us right now. Essence Fest visitors began checking in Wednesday. Charles Cowan arrived with family and friends. He said, aside from festivities and music, he's ready to shop, purchasing things from local vendors and those from outside New Orleans. Cohen said his friend Gary Scott says he loved the laissez-faire vibe of the city, but that's not what draws him back. I come from the food, Scott said. The food down here is fantastic. I never had such quality food in my entire life. Since releasing the full lineup of events and performance, Essence organizers said they are seeing strong engagement. Cohen, an Essence veteran, offers this advice for first timers. There's going to be a lot of people, he says, going to be crowded, be patient, understanding, and curious. So with that being said, let's see this report.
We're hearing directly from Essence Fest for the first time since it.
Yes, all that. Woo.
Chris Welty uncovers some vendors are also opting out.
Been coming since 2013, every year.
Charles Cohen just arrived from South Carolina with family and friends for Essence Fest. Aside from festivities and music, he's ready to shop.
Purchasing things from local vendors or vendors from outside of New Orleans.
Cohen's friend Gary Scott loves the laissez-faire vibe of the city, but that's not what draws him back.
Actually, I come from the food. The food down here is fantastic. I've never had such quality food in my entire life.
Across the city, Essence Fest signs hang promoting the festival with a rich history in New Orleans.
That people who come here and have a good time then come back. They might come back for just an off weekend sometime in the fall. They may come back for another festival. Essence shows them a very good time. Essence is so well put together by those who are associated with Essence itself, and the city does a great job.
Essence Fest acknowledges ticket sales are down this year, citing a variety of reasons.
But I think there's a lot happening in our world, just in general, that's impacting people deciding to go places or not.
Barkud Tubman Zawalo, Essence Chief Community Officer, says some vendors are also opting out this year. Essence maintains it supports 300 local businesses, and the fest generates a multi-million-dollar economic impact.
And I think we just want to make sure that in spite of what we're all navigating, that people come and have an amazing time, because I think it's interesting times just for all of us right now.
Since releasing the full lineup, Essence says they're seeing strong engagement. Cohen, an Essence pro, offers this advice for first-timers.
It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be crowded. So be patient, understanding, and courteous.
Chris Welty, Fox 8 Local First.
As Essence ramps up, organizers along with Louisiana State Police encourage festival goers to designate before you celebrate. Designate a sober driver or use ride shares or taxis to reduce the number of crashes this holiday weekend.
Thank you very much for that there. So right here from WWNO, how do local businesses fare when Essence Fest comes to town? This weekend, hundreds of thousands of people are expected to converge on New Orleans for the 2025 Essence Festival of Culture. The annual festival, hosted by Essence Magazine, is taking place from July 3rd to July 6th, so this past weekend, at Caesar Superdome and the Ernest N. Morrell Convention Center. Essence recently announced the ticket sales are down. Some vendors are opting out of its events, according to Fox 8. Still, the publication touts its festival as having had a $1 billion impact on the city since 2022. The event has long been seen as providing a needed boost to the economy during summer months when tourism slows down. Fortunately, when Essence comes to town, it gives us that little boost we need to weather the storm, said Glenn Charles, co-owner of Headliners and Nice Guys, NOLA. While some local businesses do benefit from the festival, others say that in recent years they haven't felt the economic impact that Essence brings. Among the festival's critics are members of the local Black business community who said they feel shut out by Essence Festival meant to center Black women with marketing rather that emphasizes New Orleans culture. Essence used New Orleans as a venue, and that's it. They're not here to necessarily make specific impacts on the New Orleans community, says Jollis Isles, founder of Where Black NOLA Eats. Representatives from the festival did not respond to requests for comment for this story by publication time. The most visible rift between Essence Fest and the city's business community in recent years occurred in 2023. That year, the festival issued a cease and desist to the Black-owned coffee shop and bookstore Baldwin Company over an alleged violation of the festival's clean zone. A city-designated area around the festival where commercial activity is restricted. Festival lawyers said the Margini bookstore had allegedly used Essence brand without licensing to promote an event featuring Black offers during the weekend of the festival. Essence ultimately dropped the lawsuit following public pushback. DJ Johnson, owner of Baldwin & Co., sees the yearly clean zones that accompany the festival as aggressive. It does prohibit Black-owned businesses who Essence claims to prioritize from operating, being profitable, making money, being able to capitalize on the massive amount of people that are coming to town. Johnson said other business owners like Charles, whose headquarters restaurant and sports bar is inside the clean zone that support the zone, which limits street vending and unsanctioned outdoor events, among other activities. The zone's boundaries include the Warehouse District, Central Business District, and the French Quarter. According to Gambit, the Essence Clean Zone has been significantly expanded since 2019. The Clean Zone actually helps us. It keeps street vendors out so that the restaurants in the area are able to benefit from events like this. Charles said the festival's own events at the convention center, such as the SoCo Market, highlight Black and Black women-owned business. Some local business owners say Essence tends to center out-of-town businesses and vendors in its events, overlooking local businesses. I also founded Where Black NOLA Eats during 2019's Essence Fest is advocate for the city's Black-owned businesses, and she says those businesses largely aren't feeling the economic impact the festival brings to the city. I wish Essence felt the responsibility to be more intentional about how they allow opportunities in the community. Isles said. Isles thinks the festival isn't helping to address the city's wealth gap, in spite of more than the $300 million it has generated in economic impact each year over the past 3 years. Data has shown that the metro area's Black-owned business lag in revenue behind their white counterparts. The festival does have a list of local business partners on its website, including bars, restaurants, salons, and cultural institutions. One of those partners is Van Humans, a modern French restaurant in the Warehouse District. The restaurant is partnered with the festival this year by elevating the crispy chicken sandwiches through a brand activation with McDonald's, said restaurant owner Devon Lewis. SFS used to be a reliable source of income for Lewis, but that has changed in recent years. She said last year she saw a $25,000 loss during the festival. Although Lewis is looking forward to hosting a fun event, she is optimistic that the partnership will result in a significant gain. We're not fast food, we are fine dining, and most people that come to Essence aren't local, she said. So we may get some exposure from people from other places, but it's not going to benefit me a whole lot. Aside from the clean zone, which Lewis petitioned against last year, the restaurateur largely attributes the festival's negative impact on local businesses to Essence way of partnering with vendors and local businesses. Lewis said that last year at the same time. Something the Kool-Aid ain't sweet here. I'm gonna give my take on this in just a minute. Festival representatives did not respond to Lewis' claims by publication time. The entire experience left her feeling blackballed, shut out by Essence. She said, "We're already disenfranchised." He said, "We don't need this extra pressure during this time of year when we should be able to take advantage of some of what's coming in. This weekend, bars will have limited hours." Lewis considered closing the restaurant for the weekend, but she said she was encouraged by her own community to remain open. Barno's is one of few downtown restaurants owned by Black women. Other restaurants have been criticized for closing down at the festival, which caters primarily to a Black crowd, but Lewis disputes that these closures have anything to do with race, rather than some restaurants simply can't afford to stay open during the weekend. And now more businesses are saying that's it, we're going to just close and move on because it's not worth it, I'll say. So this is the thing that really trips me out. Essence, with your festival being as big as it is, why don't you hire content creators? Right now, you have, let's just say you do about 30, right? 30 out-of-town content creators, 30 in-town content creators, right? So that's 60 altogether, right? So you have 10 men, 10 women, and then 10 different individuals altogether, right? For out-of-towners, and then 10 women, 10 men, and 10 different individuals from different communities within NOLA. That's 60 content creators. Now, something that hurts my interest here is that Essence will allow vendors to participate in both the festival and outside events at the same time. Why don't you spread out some of those content creators that you guys hire, right? Why don't you spread them out to some of the outside events and have them stream it on their YouTube channels, right? And also stream it to essence.com and inside the E360 app. And also, too, they can also cover some of the festival events on the inside of the convention center and the Superdome. So, like I said, I believe content creators will be one of the biggest jobs in the media industry, right? I think there was an article that we reviewed here, we talked about rather, here on Burnley's Virtual Tour Live, that freelancers will be the biggest primary job. I think about like 76% of most jobs will be freelancer jobs for the creator economy. And I just feel like, if you're trying to shore up, issues here, now listen, to do this content creator program, I'm sure there are plenty of companies that will gladly pay for 60 flights. Well, actually, no, 30 flights from out-of-towners, 30 in-town content creators. I'm sure that Hilton or some company will put those 30 content creators up and pay for their food, their drinks, and everything else. Also, give them tickets to the events. Have them stream it, tag it, hashtag Essence Fest, hashtag Black Culture, hashtag Black Love, whatever you want, right? So then, of course, we heard about, Lauryn Hill. And here is from People Magazine, people.com. Lauryn Hill played to a nearly empty stadium until 3:37 a.m. at Essence Festival, and fans are now coming to her defense. The 8-time Grammy-winning started her Essence Festival set at 2:30 a.m. local time after the day's lineup got behind schedule. Need to know, Lauryn Hill performed to a nearly empty Superdome in New Orleans during the end of her Essence Festival set on July 5th. The festival lineup had run hours behind schedule, and Hill reportedly took the stage at 2:30 a.m. local time. Lauryn Hill closed out her set at Essence 2020 at the 2025 Essence Festival of Culture to a nearly empty stadium after taking the stage hours later than expected. The 8-time Grammy winner performed at the Cedar Superdome in New Orleans, starting her set at 2:30 a.m. local time and finishing at 3:37 a.m. on Saturday, July 5th. For what was supposed to be a Friday, July 4th performance per NOLA and Stereo Gun. NOLA.com reported that by the time Hill took the stage, only several hundred people were in the crowd, which accommodates 83,000 people. And the evening ran behind schedule from the start, with some acts finishing almost an hour after the next performance were scheduled to begin. So here it is here.
Hold on. Tell him.
Wow. Look at that.
Tell him.
Wow. Now, I do recall when Essence Fest was streaming live on Hulu. For those of you who don't know, you could have watched Essence Fest for free last year through Hulu, okay? For free if you had Hulu. I do remember that some of the performances, they did have a lot of people in the seats. Okay, so it's not shading Essence. I'm just letting you know what's going on here. Hill 50, who has been known for late performances in the past, appeared to take the scheduling issue in stride. No report that she bantered with a small crowd and even took a request. She also performed songs for son Silent Marley, 27, and Joshua YG Marley, 23. Videos of the nearly empty stadium began circulating on TikTok on July 5th. A number of fans took to social media to defend the doo-wop that thing singer, arguing that she was not at fault for the late start time. Or let's post what actually happened from Eric Lamont. It's very easy to get Lauryn Hill trending with false narratives. Let's provide the facts. The entire festival was pushed back. This is literally not her fault. Me, on the other hand, I would have gone home, contract or not buy. Dr. Britt Williams said stop booking her. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Serial Gum additionally reported that Hill was added to an already packed lineup, which contributed to the late start. The Essence Festival 2025 set to conclude on Sunday, July 6th, which it did with other acts including Jill Scott Lee. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Jill Scott, Boyz II Men, Summer Walker, and Jasmine Sullivan. And then finally, everybody, here is this article here. Tourists, locals gear up for a busy Essence Fest weekend despite smaller crowds. Let's see if I can zoom in from this. There we go. Here we go. By Desiree Stennett. As the Essence Festival culture kicks off in downtown New Orleans, thousands of people have already started to pack hotels, restaurants, and venues. Those slightly smaller crowds are projected to visit this year as business owners are bracing for dampened profits. The festival is still expected to create thousands of jobs and bring an influx of cash to workers that desperately needed during the slow summer months. Over the past 3 decades, Essence Fest has pumped more than $4 billion into the local economy, said Kirk McDonald, CEO of Sundial Media, which owns the Black women's lifestyle magazine operates the festival. Nearly $1 billion of that came over the past 3 years, according to annual economic impact reports produced by Dillon University. We live in a time where culture has become a business, McDonald said, but the truth is we've lived that from the very start. The economic impact of Essence delivered over $345 million in value in 2024 right back into the community. This is a cultural movement. Festival first time was for childhood friend Cheryl Burden, who traveled from Arizona. Althea Howard of Ohio. The festival is a reunion of both first timers. They are planning to play Essence by ear, no itinerary, just seeing what they can discover each day. By the time they visit again, they said they would be festival experts. Howard says she has a long way to attend Essence Fest, and this year it came together by chance. They booked a trip for the holiday weekend before they knew the festival dates, and they pivoted to include it in their plans. We grew up on Essence magazine, so to get to this point where they're holding festivals is a big thing. She said, I've always been curious, and the time it was right. Cheryl Henry, of New York, met her cousin Paulette Simpson, who flew in from London, England. Wow. They did say they had people from all around the world, to come to Essence Fest at a downtown hotel steps from the convention center. I've been to New Orleans many times, but I've never been to Essence, Henry said. I've always wanted to be there. We're excited. The two will spend their days at the Ernst in Morale Convention Center, which opens Friday morning 10 a.m. and runs until 6 p.m. each day as an entertainment hub, hosting talks on financial planning, beauty, self-care, and mental health for Black women and men. Film screenings, a marketplace for Black business from across the nation, and fireside chats. Panel discussions will also take place inside the convention center. They'll spend their nights at the Caesar Superdome enjoying music from artists such as Maxwell, Erykah Badu, Pat Bell, and a host of others. Smaller crowds have fed business. After spending many years working during Essence Fest, Erica Lassier, owner of Diva Dog food truck and catering company, said this year the slowdown in business was unmistakable. She usually could count on at least $10,000 of extra cash for her business working the auxiliary events hosted by partners over the Essence Fest weekend. But this year, I have had even one request, she said, adding that other business owners she knows had similar experiences. If the slow weekend holds, Lassier said the lack of cash would prevent her from participating in this fall's fried chicken festival. Yes, fried chicken festival in New Orleans. Which, by the way, like BET, OWN, Aspire, like what are we doing here, right? Like even and I'll put the commercial up, but give me a moment. Nubian.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a Black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of Black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
So why don't y'all cover events live like the Fried Chicken Festival or Essence? I mean, MSNBC was down there when Roland Martin was down there one time. I remember when there used to be live broadcasts of the Tom Jordan Morning Show and the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. Disney did a huge brand activation last year. I wonder why it wasn't broadcasted on Freeform. I mean, it would make a lot of sense if BET does come into the Disney ABC family that maybe there could be a partnership to broadcast Essence live on BET if BET comes inside the Disney family, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to this here. Her Essence Fest profits usually cover her bills and pay her fees and other popular events. It cost me $4,000 to participate in the lakefront event. She said, I don't want to put myself in the hole. It might be slow. A hurricane might come. That's $4,000 I don't have. The slowdown is also visible in hotel bookings. According to Kelly Schultz, spokesperson for destination marketing organization New Orleans & Co. or company, last year hotel occupancy was ahead. The festival was 91%. This year is projected to fall to 83%. But Schultz said even with small crowds, New Orleans will see more businesses than most other cities across the nation over the holiday weekend. And she said it's not just the French Quarter restaurants and hotels that will benefit as money trickles down. There's really the direct attendee spending, but there's the broader impact of what that means to the economy, Schultz said. All the people who make their living in hospitality go forward and invest those resources into their neighborhood restaurants, gas stations, and grocery stores. Despite the lower turnout, Essence Fest officials say excitement is still high, even in the face of economic uncertainty, and that may have kept some travels away this year. We are well within our expectations given the uncertain climate, the company said in a statement. Like many across the industry, we're seeing a shift. There's more hesitation around holiday travel and large-scale events, and how people spend the money. Even so, excitement for Essence Fest remains high. It continues to be one of the most impactful economic drivers for New Orleans. We are proud to carry that legacy forward. Now, I do want to say this, right? For anybody that doesn't understand, it takes everybody to make something, right? The grocery stores, for example, there are local restaurants that will go to grocery stores just to get some touch-up items, right? I had a guy from one of the restaurants where I live literally buy a 18-pack of Coronas. And by the way, shout out to everybody that is working at gas stations, okay? A gas station job is a job. And here's the gag. If you have a car and you hate gas station workers, where are you going to go for gas to get to work on time? I'm just saying. I am just saying, if you hate gas station workers that bad, I want you to get in your car right now. And I want you to drive and drive and drive and drive until your car breaks down. You know what you're going to need? You're going to need some gas from a gas station. Idiots are running amok. Please keep yourself mentally vaccinated by staying away from idiots, okay? Please. Ooh, that big D spray, that big delusional spray that Destiny Payne's been selling. Please don't buy any of that, okay? And also to the neighborhood restaurants. You know what the neighborhood restaurants do when it comes to catering? They go to gas stations to fill up their vans. You know how the 18-wheelers get to grocery stores? They go to gas stations. Like, my Lord Jesus. Anyway, let's roll on, y'all. We got more. Brandon's Virtual Tour Live. By the way, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Now, with that being said, to blacknews.com, J.D. Vance said 47 has saved more black lives than any other U.S. leader. Are you serious? Are you really that serious? Oh, my Lord Jesus. I mean, that's just like saying I'm not going to go to a gas station when you're taking your kids to school. Mommy, we run out of Yeah, don't worry about it, baby. We're gonna get you to school, but the car's about to break down. Baby, would you be quiet? I got. Why were you late to school this morning? Because my mama was a damn idiot. She didn't want to go to the gas station because she hate gas station workers for no reason. Like that would be that logic of that 47 has saved more black lives than any other and dumb logic as an example. I could go. Child, because
Time is slipping away from me. Yeah.
Time is slipping away from JD Vance because no one has ever said this ever. According to Vice President JD Vance, has posted a message on social media saying that former president, y'all petty. I'm here for it. Former President 47 has saved more black lives than any leader in U.S. history, using a peace deal in Africa to support his statement. Naturally, his post to support backlash online. According to the Daily Beast, Vance posted the bold claim on Blue Sky after a peace treaty was signed between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda on June 27th. He called the deal historic, knowing that the war had killed millions, most of them black. He then tagged Black Lives Matter leaders, saying they should thank 47 for its efforts. I'm sure the leaders and supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement will join me in celebrating President 47 today, who has done more to save black lives than any leader in our country, Vance wrote. He also tagged the New York Times columnist Jamie Bouley, who has criticized Vance in the past. The vice president used the treaty as proof that 47 had a major impact, especially for black lives. The 47 Vance administration has had a tense history with Black Lives Matter. 47 once called the movement the symbol of hate and deployed the National Guard during protests in 2020. He allegedly asked, "Can't you just pal them?" in response to demonstrators. Despite having blacks for 47 supporters, 47 and Vance's relationship with the black community remains rocky on the campaign trail. 47 made false claims that Haitian immigrants were eating pets, leading to target attacks. Wait a minute. Do you mean this? Give me a moment, y'all. Give me a moment. Do you mean this?
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that.
You mean that? Oh my Lord Jesus! Leading to two target attacks. In officer cabinet includes only one black member, Scott Turner. Did Scott Turner watch 12 Years a Slave and know about Nat Turner? Still, Vance defended 47's role in the African Peace Treaty, says it also benefits the U.S. with the Congo offering mineral rights worth $24 trillion. 47 echoed the praise, calling the war one of the wars to take credit for helping end it. I just happened to have somebody that was able to get it settled, he said. Not everyone agrees. Some users on Blue Sky slammed Vance's post, calling it exaggerated and false. One user replied, "Okay, now that's just an outright lie, bozo." Others supporting him, with one 47 fan commenting, "Good job. Now back to America first, please." So wait a minute. That supporter said, "Good job. Now back to America first." So basically, that 47 fans are racist. Shocking concept. Child, I can't. Speaking of international affairs, Porsha Williams from BeGoodTakeout.com. Now, of course, we can take out some Neil Haystack, so you gotta take this with a grain of salt. But Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha Williams' new boyfriend, indicted by the feds, $10 million stop. Oh Lord, Jonathan Dupton. Like a dupe. Oh, Lord Jesus. You married somebody with bad in the last name, and now you might be dating somebody who's a dupe, but now you might be Porsha Dupton, which means you will be a dupe as well. Oh, Lord, you really know how to pick a Porsha, do you? The man linked to Porsha's divorce drama just got hit with federal indictment. Oh, the mess keeps getting messier. Jonathan Dupton, the man who was all up in the middle of Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams and Simon Bobadia's nasty divorce, is now facing some serious legal drama of his own. Media Takeout has confirmed that Jonathan is under federal indictment, accused of being involved in a wide-ranging PPP and unemployment fraud scheme. Simon go by you under, fraud as well. Y'all know what I'm about to do, right? Y'all know what I'm about to do, right? I have to do this. I have no other choice but to do this. What do you want me to do about this? I am not sorry. There's nothing I can do here. There's nothing. There's nothing I can do. Nothing. Okay? Not a thing. Well, Bertha, let us know what's going on with Porsha Williams, man, please.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
They never got no picture. I'm telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
Now, I will say this. In Porsha's defense, right? Maybe Jonathan Lipton has this type of mindset. I don't know, but to Porsha's defense and her man's defense, maybe they both have this type.
It's not just feeding the hungry only on Thanksgiving. It's an everyday situation. You know what I mean? This is 265 days a year.
That is funny. 265 days. Where the hell that bitch live at?
Still, we don't know where that bitch or Mitch live at. Still to this damn day, we don't know. Woody Woodpecker. By the way, I watched the 2017 movie. It was actually pretty good. Watched it this past weekend. It was really good. So with that being said, let's roll on here. The indictment was quietly handed down February, but only recently unsealed, and now the tea is spilling fast. Go back up. Right here, from alleged side dude to defiant podcaster, rather, not broadcaster, because that takes a skill set. Let's rewind for a second. If you were following Porsha's divorce saga, then you already heard Johnson's name come up a lot. He was rumored to be the man Porsha was allegedly sneaking around with while still marrying Simon. Word on the street is that Simon slid into Johnson's DMs, trying to figure out if his wife was cheating on him. But instead of answering privately like a normal human being, Jonathan did what any 2020s man would do. He made a podcast about it. Yes, he hit record and aired everything, giving his personal rules on cheating, side pieces, and why no man should ever come to him as a man. So this is the alleged dude. Let's hear it.
And you can't blame a man. You can never blame a man for hitting your chick. That's rule number one. You can't blame me. You can't get mad at me. You can't try to fight me. You can't try to shoot me. Don't even send me a DM. Do not come to me as a man. Do not come to me as a man about your woman. Take that shit up with her. It's her fault. I'm a nigga. I'm gonna be one. I have no loyalty to any man. That's not the homie. That's not my brother. That's not my cousin. That's not the fam. I have no loyalty to any man. What do I owe you? Am I supposed to spare your girl because she's your girl? Because she might be your wife? She might be your baby mama? No, I'm not sparing nothing because ain't nobody gonna spare me. When you're in a moment, ain't nobody gonna be like, oh damn, hold up, this finesse girl, bro. Let me not hit. Niggas want to hit her more just because she's my girl. If niggas was to find out what girl I'm fucking with, who's my girl, who's my baby mama, they gonna be trying to fuck her too. They gonna be in her DMs trying to slide, trying to see if she could break, just so they could say, I fucked his bitch. And I will not ever let you niggas get the upper hand. So if I was you, I would do the same. You need to keep your girl on a leash. Keep her on a leash so she won't go nowhere. Don't blame another man for hitting your chick. You take that shit up with her. Don't come to me as a man. Come to her as a spouse, nigga. I don't fucking know. Shit got me hot, man. Shit got me motherfucking hot, bro.
So intelligent, so articulate, so smooth with it, isn't he? Don't come to me about your girl. In his podcast, Rand Jonathan made it clear that he has zero loyalty to any man. His exact words: "Don't be mad at me because I'm going to be and hit be mad at her." He even offered some highly questionable advice, telling men to keep their girl on a leash if they do not want her stepping out. And said that if a woman chooses to cheat, that's on her, not the guy she cheats with. Yikes. It was given future podcast villain energy from the jump or from the begin. Shout out to when Tik Tok's there for sure. The romance with Porsha. After Porsha officially filed for divorce from Simon, Jonathan, and Porsha was spotted out together a lot. Dinner dates, matching outfits, posting videos on social. Oh, she had Mia Thorne situation. Oh, actually, oh my God, she did. So Mia Thorne had granddaddy, in terms of, oh my God, Gordon, and then Mia's nephew of Ink, just like Porsha has granddaddy of Simon and her nephew being Jonathan. Child, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Now, when I say granddaddy and nephew, I mean like a family affair type situation. They're not family members, everybody. Okay, just make that clear. Okay, but the threesome energy that Mia Thorne was given, it's kind of the same energy Porsha Williams is giving. Just saying. They weren't exactly hiding, while neither of them confirmed the relationship publicly. Insiders told me to take out the two would definitely dating for several months. But it was messy, spicy, and the internet couldn't get enough. But now the feds are calling. Now Jonathan's name is in the headlines for a very different reason. According to federal authorities, he's allegedly linked to a multi-state scheme involving fraudulent PPP loans and unemployment claims, the kind of stuff that got people locked up during the pandemic for stealing COVID relief funds. If convicted, Jonathan could be facing some serious prison time. We're talking multiple years, fines, possibly restitution. No word on whether Porsha is saying about her man or ex-man, but considering she just escaped one high-profile legal mess, I'm telling she might want to keep her distance. And then here is the indictment here from Media Takeout. Shout out to them. So yeah, Jonathan Paul Dupton, count one, mail fraud, wire fraud conspiracy. Listen, knowingly devise and intend to devise a scheme and to artifice to defraud to obtain money, property, and namely unemployment insurance benefits by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, and by the omission of material facts, well knowing and having reason to know that said pretenses were and would be false, fraudulent. Twitter is having a field day. Of course, social media wasted no time reacting. Jonathan told y'all he wasn't loyal to no man, apparently not to the federal government either. So Porsha let Simon for a man who might be doing federal time. Girl, what's next? Jonathan hasn't made a public statement yet about the charges, but knowing his love for a hot mic and special episode might be coming soon. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors are preparing for what could be a high-profile fraud case, especially with Jonathan's tied TV royalty. Stay tuned. This drama went from role reunion messy to true crime docu-series of scandal, and baby, we got popcorn ready. Whew, Lord Jesus, and the reunion's already taped? Wow. Okay, then. All right, y'all. We do have more Bringing This Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here, right now. This is some good damn news from Flint, Michigan right here. Check this out from the Jasmine brand right here. Flint nears completion of lead pipe replacement 10 years after water crisis began. So let's take a look at this right here.
Everyone, I'm Stella Daskalakis.
I'm Mike Woolfolk. Removing those lines from streets to homes, along with property restoration, was all part of a settlement in 2017. The city had to give residents the chance to have their service lines replaced for free.
The project was supposed to be done in 3 years, but it took 8 to finish it. Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett is here with more on this story. Courtney, they say the project is done, but we understand there are still lines in the city.
There are still lead service lines in the city. Some are at abandoned homes. Others are at homes where the people living there didn't want the work done. But under the settlement, nearly 11,000 lead pipes were replaced and more than 28,000 properties were restored. The Flint water crisis began in April of 2014. It was a cost savings move, which resulted in improper water treatment and lead contaminated drinking water leaching from the galvanized pipes across the city. In 2016, the city reported there were more than 29,000 Flint residences that had lead lines that needed to be replaced. A 2017 lawsuit was filed against the city and the state with a goal to address the lead contamination. A $97 million settlement was reached, which resulted in this removal project. Water activist Melissa Mays was among those who filed the lawsuit. She says they never stopped fighting.
2020 should have been the end, but then bad record keeping and then going back and forth to force the city to show up, to get the testing done, to get the inspections done, and then to find out that the records, a couple years ago, we found out the records on restorations were wrong and that they had to go back to 10,000 homes. So it has been a terrible babysitting job, but it's been necessary.
Mays tells me she's aware some people in the city might still have these lead lines. She says they can still call the city and get the pipes replaced. For now, live in the studio, Courtney Bennett, Mid-Michigan Now.
Everyone, I'm Stella.
There is that news there. Finally, Flint, Michigan has replaced most of its lead water pipes, a major step forward. More than a decade after the city's water crisis drew national attention, according to the Washington Post, officials confirmed that about 11,000 lead service lines have been removed. Over 28,000 homes have been inspected and repaired as part of court board settlement reached in 2017. The agreement required the city to offer free pipe replacements to affected residents, although 700 households chose not to participate. The crisis began in 2014 when city officials switched Flint's water source to the Flint River without proper coercion control. That mistake allowed lead from ancient pipes to contaminate the water supply. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates nearly 100,000 people were exposed to lead, including children. The impact fell hardest on Black and low income residents. Do you think enough has been done to hold leaders accountable for the Flint water crisis? Honestly, I don't think so. I think that it's great that, it is nearing completion, but still those people who did the crimes need to pay the times with salaries and time in jail. Speaking of natural events, speaking of bigger events that we can conceive happening, shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years of being a platform onto the next 25. 43 dead, 20 girls still missing in catastrophic Texas flood. There's a lot of finger pointing going on among government agencies. Tempers are flaring and blame is being slung in multiple directions after a cataclysmic Texas flood tore through a 100-year-old Christian camp in Texas and in other areas, including Arkansas, my home state. They're killing at least 43 people, including 15 children, early Friday morning, July 4th. The aftermath of the Texas flood has left a devastating toll with dozens dead and scores still missing, underscoring the scale of this disaster. Authorities say there are still 27 missing, including 20 girls, when the Black Wall of Death raged through the camp at the banks of the Guadalupe River in Kerrville, about 65 miles northwest of San Antonio, according to WFAA ABC 8 news outlet. State officials report that evacuation crews from the county and state have rescued or evacuated 850 people so far. Despite the chaos, away from the commitment of the rescue teams is a beacon of hope. They are tirelessly continuing their search for a group around 27 people who were attending an all-girls Christian summer camp, demonstrating their dedication to saving lives. But the chaos, government agencies have resorted to blaming one another for tragedy and a layer of complexity to the situation. The National Weather Service has come under intense fire from authorities from the Akui warned campers and others in the area about the amount of rain that we saw. According to Nim Kidd, director of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, this criticism underscores the pressing need for more effective disaster warnings.
The flood started getting bigger, and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to swim out of our cabins.
Campers from Camp La Junta lucky to be alive this morning after they say they had to swim out of their cabins during flash floods in Kerr County. That camp just a few miles up the Guadalupe River from Camp Mystic. That's where more than 20 campers are still missing this morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this Saturday, July 5th. I'm Adriana de Alba. We're going to have a look at your holiday weekend forecast in just a moment. But first, we're following the latest updates out of the Texas Hill Country as search efforts continue this morning in those deadly flash floods. This isn't just impacting Kerr County, but other counties near the San Antonio area. This is new video here you're looking at out of Spring Branch, Texas. That's in Comal County. Storms rolled through those areas again around 2 this morning, with more rain expected later today. At last check, more than 230 people in Kerr County have been rescued and evacuated. The death toll is now up to 24. Efforts continued throughout the night to find more than 20 missing girls from Camp Mystic along the Guadalupe River. Those floodwaters rose more than 20 feet in the span of 2 hours. And just before we came on the air, we learned a director for a different camp near the Guadalupe River died in those floods. Heart of the Hills is a girls' camp in Hunt, Texas. They released a statement last night saying their director and co-owner, Jane Ragsdale, did not make it. That camp says it was not in session when the floods began. But other camps were. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick were in Kerrville last night, promising to find every missing person no matter what. One North Texas family says they are lucky to know their child is alive. Our Teresa Woodard spoke to them moments before they left to reunite with her.
And she wasn't even supposed to be at this session.
I spoke with Natalie and Jeff Dunning moments before they left North Texas, not long after they discovered their daughter, a Camp Mystic camp counselor, is safe.
I feel very, very sorry for the parents that don't know yet.
Communication from the Hill Country is hard. They don't yet know what their daughter saw or went through. They only know she was at a place she dearly loves.
She became so close to God, and that's actually where she was baptized, was in Mystic last year.
They call Camp Mystic magical. When you look at pictures the camp previously shared on social media, you see it. And when you look at Hannah Dunning and a camp picture she posted days ago, you feel it. Feel why she stayed an extra session at the very last minute.
She stayed there. God put her there for a reason, so that she could help
the youngest campers, some still missing. 8-year-old Hadley Hannah of Dallas among them. Her mom gave us this photo, hoping it helps her find Hadley.
We will do everything humanly possible to find your daughter.
After an emotional promise from the state, Texas game wardens posted grainy photos of rescuers reaching Camp Mystic. Some happy reunions seem imminent. The question is, how many?
I think if you're a God-fearing person, just please praise these babies will get back to their parents.
Really hoping for more of those miracles and happy reunions, right, Cassie? Truly devastating. And I understand the National Weather Service actually issued the flood watch warning in many of those areas for tonight, right? Bring us up to speed on that.
Yes. So we still have some flood watches in effect for parts of Hill Country right now. So you can see where those flood watches are. There's even a flash flood warning down there as well. That's because we still have the rain that is currently falling. Now, closer to home, we don't have that, but we still have some rain. Here's just some of the rainfall totals that took place so far. In fact, looking at Ingram, 10.33, Kerrville 3.97, Hunt 6.55, and some of these areas still receiving that rain. You can see where that flash flood warning is. So we've got a little area spinner, an MCV, and this has been not moving a whole lot. The rain is finally starting to let up a little bit, but they don't need to see any more rain.
Thank you guys at WFAA there. The National Weather Service defends itself. Tom Flay, the legislative director for the National Weather Service Employees Organization, stated that cuts to the federal workforce has led to numerous staffing shortages nationwide, according to Forbes magazine. However, Flay noted that an advance warning of possible flood was issued on Thursday afternoon, July 3rd. the WFO weather forecasting offices had adequate staffing and resources as they issued timely forecasts and warnings leading up to the storm. Foley said, adding that unfilled leadership positions were clearly a concern. The National Weather Service, despite the criticism, maintains its belief that it gave sufficient warning. It was heartbroken by the tragic loss of life in Kerr County, and in a statement, reiterated that it did so now warn the National Weather Service in response to criticism, detailed its defense. It was heartbroken by the tragic loss of life in Kerr County. In a statement, but it reiterated that it did send out a warning. Flash flood warnings were issued on the night of July 3rd and the early morning of July 4th, given preliminary lead times more than 3 hours before warning criteria were met. The statement said, the National Weather Service was one of the several federal agencies targeted by the controversial cost-cutting efforts of the 47 administration's Department of Government Efficiency. Several hundred employees of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, was also casualties of the cutbacks. Children who remained missing on Saturday afternoon were at all girls Christian summer camp known as Camp Mystic, which has been in existence since 1926. And honestly, it is sad, but I would blame this at the feet of the president and his administration for making those cuts. Because if we would have had a bigger response team, these women could have been saved. And that's on the president's head. God forbid if one of his grandchildren were at Camp Mystic, and allegedly he may go visit Texas. He may go visit parents that have lost their children. That's the fucked up piece of shit the rest of y'all voted for. You happy about it? I pray for every single child and family and friend and community member and Lati and everybody in the world, T-Talk with your girl, that everybody will be reunited. And to everybody who is lost, may they be in heaven, being welcomed in through those pearly gates, and a celebration for them is happening right from this space right here and right now. In Jesus' name. Yes, yes, yes. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all. More Brandon Lee's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here and right now. Now, y'all know sometimes we do go out of order when I am on the wave. We were talking about Essence Fest, and then we talked about Black culture. And of course, after Essence Fest was supposed to be Texas, but everything happens for a reason. So now, with that being said, let's talk about the creator economy. There's some big news for all of you content creators out there, especially if you want to make some money. Yes, indeed. From tubefilter.com, calling all creators, YouTube's open call lets brands request custom sponsorship. Come on, work with me now, please. Thank you. Open call campaigns right here. So you see Summer Pop Lips launch ends April 25th. C-Bomb, Great Summer Escape. Something new is coming to Brand Connect nearly a decade after YouTube acquired the brand career mashup marketplace. And after a couple of years of waffling about whether Brand Connect is best geared towards self-service or not, YouTube is making a serious effort to expand its offerings and its team. Some of those expansions were revealed in March around the time YouTube appeared at South by Southwest, and now it's using its time at the Cannes Lions Film Festival to announce Open Call. This feature lets brands put out open calls for creators, as the name would suggest, to make user-generated content for their latest campaigns. To do that, companies just go to the Brand Connect's Career Partnerships Hub and publish a brief with their campaign details. Interested creators can scroll through opportunities in their half of the tub, which you can see in our header image, and respond with potential video content. Companies receive those videos and approve or deny them within Brand Connect. Videos selected for campaigns can be deployed across YouTube as official ads. Open Call gives creators of all sizes the opportunity to pursue new relationships with brands. YouTube said a company blog post, lean on the relevance and trust of YouTube creators to get more from your social media strategy on YouTube. With the thriving creator economy, we're greatly investing in ways to help brands tap into the influence of YouTube creators. Melissa Nikolic, sorry to butcher that name, director of product management at YouTube, said in a statement, with our new open call feature, we are making it even easier for brands to identify their audiences and at with their audiences at scale. This method of matching brands and creators isn't new for digital marketing. Many outside agencies and marketplaces have tried it before. For brands, there are a lot of pluses. They get a swath of creative, ready-made content that can help shape the directions for their campaigns, connect them with creators, enthusiastic audiences, and expose them to new ideas from creatives and the creators behind them. It's also similar to how many traditional non-creator brand campaigns work. Companies often ask multiple agencies to pitch creative ideas or campaign concepts before deciding which one to move forward with. But just like the ad agencies whose concepts aren't chosen for campaigns, creators whose videos aren't selected won't be paid for their work. YouTubers who respond to open calls might put in hours of effort, the same amount of effort they put into any other sponsored and receive no financial compensation or relationship with the brand. That being said, open call would give small creators the chance to work with brands they normally wouldn't be able to contract. A nascent beauty influencer could have their short accepted for a multinational cosmetics brand. A booktuber might get a spot with a big 5 publisher. For these creators, it could be worth shooting their shot even if they might not get a paycheck. Some brands and creators have already used the beta version of Open Call, have found a positive experience. L'Oreal's global director of social media, Carla Valdez, said using the feature to partner with creators allows us to drive deeper brand engagement through authentic, entertaining content that resonates with their communities and extends our consumer reach. At L'Oreal, YouTube creators are a powerful force, shaping cultural moments and forging meaningful connections with our audiences, she added. And mall actress and creator Haley Carroll, who used Open Call from the creator side, said she had partnerships with as much creative freedom as possible, which resulted in authentic content that truly resonates with my audience. So congratulations to YouTube for making this happen. I think that this is great because there's a lot of people with Brand Connect on, and they have been looking for a way to make more money. And now I think it might be over like 1,000 brands are connected with YouTube. So shout out to that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, remember what I told y'all about 100 Zeros YouTube, not YouTube's, but Google's, TV and movie studio. Remember how I said YouTube studios could be coming because YouTube is primarily watched on television, right? Remember how I told you that? And how Pedro Pena, the president for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, said there's no appetite for YouTube originals, and how Neil Mahone said we don't know how to content. Well, check this out right here from TubeFilter.com as well. Two-thirds of U.S. consumers see YouTube as a realistic destination for movies and TV shows. YouTube's success on TV screens is legitimizing it in the eyes of the average American consumer. That's the main takeaway from the survey conducted by Looper Insights. The firm found that 2/3 of respondents agree with the idea that YouTube is a realistic destination for TV shows and movies. Looper surveyed 1,115 U.S. consumers about their media appetite. 66% of that cohort said that YouTube has become a reliable source for the sort of long-form content that was previously confined to TV networks and subscription-based streaming services. Among a separate panel of 65 media executives, the percentage was even higher. 88% of those respondents agreed with the claim that YouTube is a realistic destination for long-form movies and TV shows. Once considered a short-form or career-led powerhouse, YouTube has grown to become like television across TV screens, tablets, and phones, with a growing focus on films, series, and longer-form entertainment reads. The report, we talked about how long-form content is dominating YouTube. We talked about that here on Burnley's Virtual Tour Live. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you understand what you're seeing in front of you, like I always say to y'all. YouTube has hasted that growth by investing heavily in its TV presence. The most recent edition of Nielsen's The Gauge report found that YouTube has the largest audience share among streaming video services, claiming 12% of that market. At its annual Brandcast presentation, YouTube dubbed itself as the #1 most watched distributor of content across broadcast, cable, and streaming in the United States since February 2025. 47% of consumers in the Looper survey said that the living room is the main location for their YouTube viewing, while 52% claimed that they would consider YouTube's free platform as a replacement for streaming video on-demand services like Netflix and Disney Plus. Media companies are responding to that demand by stocking YouTube with premium film and TV content, which you can watch for free. Just go to YouTube Movies and TV. I watched, like, for example, the Adam Sandler movie Pixels over the weekend for free on YouTube. A notable example of that trend occurred earlier this year when Warner Bros. Made more than 30 full movies available for free on YouTube. At this point, YouTube's ascendance to the top of the film TV distribution landscape is nearly complete. The platform will surely be a top player in that industry for years to come. When that happens, what role will YouTube's homegrown creators play? A Deloitte report from March found that main members of Gen Z prefer creator content to premium TV. More than half of loopers responded said that creators are better sticking to YouTube rather than pursuing projects on premium streaming platforms. Some creators have struggled to meet expectations of the traditional TV world, even as some of their colleagues have thrived in similar spaces. But the Looper reports believe YouTube is now on par with TV and movie hubs in the minds of many U.S. consumers. And if that's the case, then creators can elevate their work to premium status without having to leave YouTube at all. So like I said, YouTube Studios, I believe it's going to happen. Because like I said, there's no way to have all this creative content and for it not to come out with something for content creators. Like I said, if they could do open call for content creators, imagine YouTube Studios where, let's just say, Brainley's virtual tour live, right? And this is just an example, everybody, okay? Let's just say that Brainley's virtual tour live right here, right? Come on. Give it a moment, y'all. Y'all know how tech is. That's the fireworks going off behind us, ladies and gentlemen. There. There we go. So imagine this being on now. Imagine I get a cut, YouTube Studios gets a cut, and Stars get a cut, right? And then I am on 5 nights a week on Stars for YouTube Studios. Just saying, I think it definitely happened, especially with this report from Tube Filter. For sure. And speaking of that, speaking of content creation, I want to bring y'all something here. Now, this is really, really cool. I had no idea about this. Of course, you don't know what you don't know, right? So, yeah. But this is the reason why I don't really give up on the world, because we always have amazing individuals creating new businesses like this one I'm about to show you guys here in just a few moments here, as technology wants to make it do what it do. We're verifying your browser. Of course, it is the browser. Okay, so here it is here. So this is called Creator Camp, the ultimate camp for creative kids, teaching animation, filmmaking, video, content creation, music production, and game design to kids ages 6 to 13. Okay, so they were actually on Shark Tank. So Barbara Corcoran invested in them. So as you can see here, they have some happening in Texas, right? Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Washington, D.C., and Toronto, Canada, right? So here are all the locations right here. And I think that this is absolutely fantastic. The fact that kids will be able to go to a camp that is for them to learn content creation. Because as you know, they just increased the age for kids to be able to make it do what it do, right? So here it is, 3-day camps. They got Lego animators, YouTube creators, music and beats producers, 2D cartoon animators, special effects editors, YouTube gamers, Shark Tank entrepreneurs, Hollywood filmmakers. So those are 3-day camps, Monday through Wednesday. 2-day camps, Thursday, Friday. Roblox game masters, 3D game developers, Minecraft modders, and coders, and Minecraft Redstone engineers 6 to 13. So there it is. There are already 5,590 slots plus already filled. So if you're looking for something fun for your kids to do this summer, Creator Camp is the place to be. So as I saw this, I'm like, okay, we gotta promote this on the show today. So with that being said, y'all, that's the show. Can you believe that we did that in 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 12 seconds? Not too bad. There's the link there for Creator Camp if you want to send your kid to Creator Camp. I'm going to turn off my camera next. We done the whole show for an hour. Yes, we have. What a show today. Man. So like I said, TikTok, a new version of the app will be coming in September, so be ready for that. In addition to, looks like cuts are being made, but yet they are still hiring people. Where they do that at? Then Essence Fest. It looks like Essence Fest did, happen, and it was festing for some more than others, right? And I will say that I do believe Essence knows the power of the brand, and you don't want to get so high in the clouds that you forget that you had to use the ground to get into the sky. So hopefully they will refocus, reshift, and rebuild accordingly to the audience. Like I said, then we talked about Black culture and that lie that JD Vance made. Okay, that 47 has done more for Black people than any other president. That is a damn lie. Okay, that is a damn lie. All right. If anything, 47 has hurt more Black people than helped Black people, right? And don't look at that HBCU thing that he did as anything to be proud about. That was just what they call it a red herring. You know what I mean? Porsha Williams, your man, is under a federal indictment from the government. You really know how to pick them, don't you? By the way, in addition to that, Flint, Michigan, having their lead pipes finally be near done, being taken out and new pipes getting in. Praise be unto God for that. Then, of course, Texas, we're sending out prayers to Texas and all of the people in Texas during that horrible flood. And then, of course, with YouTube, having that open call platform, I think that's going to be very good for smaller content creators and bigger content creators too, because even though you're big, doesn't mean that you're gaining. Like I said, YouTube, movies, and TV, the fact that people are seeing YouTube as the place for television and movies, not too surprised there. Then, of course, Creator Camp, the ultimate camp for kids, for creative kids there, teaching animation, filmmaking, video, content creation, music, production, game design to kids 6 to 13 years old. Now, I can definitely see Creator Camp expanding to adults as well. Just saying, just a thought, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, that is the show. One love, much love, all love. I feel love is in the right back to you. Don't forget, tonight we got 2 theme park shows for you. One, I think I'm gonna do at 6 p.m., which is gonna be Universal Studios Hollywood. There is a video from that park place that talks about Universal Studios Hollywood having 26 acres available. I think it's either 23 or 26 acres. Either way, they got a lot more acreage to expand. I found some video game franchises that we're going to talk about. And then, of course, I'm a gamified Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. Okay. Cannot wait to talk to y'all about that tonight. Universal Studios Hollywood will be at 6 p.m. and then the gamified Disneyland and California Adventure and potentially a third park as well will be at 8:30. So one love, much love, all love. I feel love. It's in the right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you. And everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.